Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashti. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 17. The Lord travels to Vrindavan, text 138 onwards. Swasukh nibhrit cheta sad vidyastanayo bhavo api ajit ruchir lila krishna saras tadiyam vyatanuta kripayat yas tattva deepam puranam tam akhila vrijin ghnam vyasa shunum natosmi. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the son of Vyasadeva, Shukdev Goswami. It is he who defeats all inauspicious things within this universe. Although in the beginning he was absorbed in the happiness of Brahm realization and was living in a secluded place, giving up all other types of consciousness, he became attracted by the most melodious pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. He therefore mercifully spoke the supreme Puran known as Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a bright light of the absolute truth and which describes the activities of Lord Krishna. So the talk was going on about Prakashan and Saraswati and the Mayavadi sannyasis who think that Brahm Jyoti is the supreme. And actually most of the sannyasis, if they're not Vaishnavas, then they are into this Mayavad philosophy, Nirakar, Nirvishesh. But even they look at the Shukdev Goswami, he was also Brahmavadi, but because he heard a couple of shlokas describing the beauty of Krishna and the merciful nature of Krishna, he became a devotee. Brahmananda haite Purnananda Krishna gunam atev akarshe atmarame raman. The transcendental qualities of Shri Krishna are completely blissful and relishable. Consequently, Lord Krishna's qualities attract even the minds of self-realized persons from the bliss of self-realization. So Lord Krishna's qualities are so blissful that they even attract the minds of these Brahm Nirvikar people following that. Atma Ramascha Munyo Nirgarantha Apiurukrame Kurvanti Ahatukim Tim Itam Bhutagunu Hari. Those who are self-satisfied and unattracted by external material desires are also attracted to the loving service of Shri Krishna, whose qualities are transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. Hari, the personality of Godhead, is called Krishna because he has such transcendently attractive features. Ei sab rahu Krishna charana sambandhe atma ramera man hare tulasi gandhe. Apart from the pastimes of Lord Krishna, even when tulsi leaves are offered at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna, even the aroma of the leaves attracts the minds of self-realized persons. So this is how 4 Kumaras, they became devotees. Tasyarvinda nayanasya padarvinda kinjalka mishra tulasi makaranda vayu antargatah swavivarena chakara tesham Sanshobham Aksharajusham Api Chittatan. When the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves and saffron from the lotus feet of the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead entered through the nostrils into the hearts of those sages, the Kumaras, they experienced a change in both body and mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. So this is what happened when 4 Kumaras went to Vaikuntha to see the Lord, and they were stopped by Jay and Vijay, and the Lord came running Understanding Jay and Vijay have made some mistake. And just smelling the aroma of tulsi leaves and saffron from Lord's lotus feet, it just changed the minds of both. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 15th chapter, 43rd verse. Vidura and Maitreya are discussing the pregnancy of Diti. Diti's pregnancy caused the demigods to be very much afraid, and demigods went to see Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma explained the original incident involving the cursing of Jay and Vijay by Chatushana Kumaras. Once the Chatushan Kumaras, means 4 Kumaras, went to Vaikuntha to visit Narayan, the Supreme Personality of God. But they were stopped from entering the palace at the 7th gate by 2 doorkeepers named Jay and Vijay. Due to their jealousy, Jay and Vijay would not allow Kumaras entry, and consequently, the Kumaras became angry and cursed Jay and Vijay, condemning them to take birth in a family of asuras in the material world. The omniscient personality of Godhead could immediately understand the incident, and he came with his eternal consort, the goddess of fortune. Chatusan Kumaras immediately offered their obeisances unto the Lord. Simply by seeing the Lord and smelling the aroma of tulsi and saffron from his lotus feet, the Kumaras became devotees and abandoned their long cherished impersonalism. Thus, the 4 Kumaras were turned into Vaishnavas simply by smelling the aromatic tulsi mixed with saffron. Those who are actually on the platform of Brahman realization and who have not offended the lotus feet of Krishna can immediately become Vaishnava simply by smelling the aroma of the Lord's lotus feet. And those who have not offended the lotus feet of Krishna, that's one of the qualities. They can become Vaishnavas. But those who are offenders or demons are never attracted to the Lord's personal feature, even though they may visit the Lord's temple many, many times. In Vrindavan, we have seen many Mayavadi sannyasis who do not even come to the temple of Govindji, Gopinath, or Madan Mohan, because they think that such temples are Maya. Therefore, they are called Mayavadis. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore said that the Mayavadis are the greatest offenders. More than atheists, more than karmakandis. Atheists believe there is no God, at least. Karmakandis, they think they just want money. Whoever gives them money, whether demigod, whether politician, whether Krishna, it doesn't matter. But it's a Mayavadi. They think the God has no form. They try to deny the form of the Lord, his divine personality, his qualities. Atheists are like, there is no God. That's all. That is it. So that's why Mayavadis are the biggest offenders. अतएव कृष्ण नाम न ऐसे तार मुख्य मायावादी गण जाते महाबहिर्मुख्य. Because the Mayavadis are great offenders and atheistic philosophers, the holy name of Krishna does not come from their mouths. Because they are constantly blaspheming the Supreme Personality of God, and by saying that he has no head, hands, or legs, Mayavadi philosophers remain offenders for many, many births, even though they have partially realized Brahma. Partially mean they only go to Brahm Jyoti, not beyond. However, if such impersonalists are not offenders at the lotus feet of the Lord, they immediately become devotees in the association of a devotee. In other words, if an impersonalist is not an offender, he can become a devotee if he gets a chance to associate with other devotees. If he is an offender, he cannot be converted even by the association of the Supreme Personality of God. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much afraid of this Mayavadi offender, therefore he spoke as follows. Bhavakali bechite ami aila kashipure. Grahak nahi na bikaye laya yabagare. I have come here to sell my emotional, ecstatic sentiments in this city of Kashi, but I cannot find any customers. If they are not sold, I must take them back home. Means ecstatic sentiments, devotional sentiments. And only a devotee, or at least innocent people, they can appreciate it and they can ask for it. भारी बोझा लाया आइला केमन ने लाया जाबा अल्प स्वल्प मूल्य पाइले एथा हिवे चीबा. I have brought a heavy load to sell in this city. To take it back again is a very difficult job. Therefore, if I get but a fraction of the price, I shall sell it here in the city of Kashi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was selling the transcendental holy name of the Lord. But Kashi was a city of Mayavadis, impersonalists. And such people will never chant the holy names of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Consequently, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling disappointed. How could he teach the Mayavadis the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? The attraction for chanting the holy name of the Lord belongs absolutely to pure devotees. And there was no possibility of finding pure devotees at Kashi. Consequently, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's commodity was certainly very heavy. The Lord therefore suggested that even though there are no pure devotees in Kashi, if someone was a little inclined to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, he would deliver this big load, although the proper price was not paid. So proper price is Shuddha, which Shuddha if somebody chants. But he's saying even if there's no full Shuddha, it's just some inclination, Mahaprabhu is still ready to give Krishna Prem to that person. Actually, we experience, the Prabhupada is telling about himself. Actually, we experienced this when we came to preach the Hare Krishna movement in the West. When we came to New York in 1965, we never expected that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra would be accepted in this country. Nonetheless, we invited people to our storefront to join in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and the Lord's holy name is so attractive that simply by coming to our storefront in New York, fortunate young people became Krishna conscious. Although this mission was started with insignificant capital, it is now going nicely. The spreading of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the West has become successful because the young people were not offenders. They just didn't know. They were too much into their hedonistic lifestyle. The youth who joined this movement were not very advanced as far as purity is concerned, nor were they very well educated in Vedic knowledge. But because they were not offenders, they could accept the importance of the Hare Krishna movement. We are now very happy to see that this movement is advancing more and more in the Western countries. We therefore conclude that the so-called Malechas and Yavans of the Western countries are more purified than offensive Mayavadis or atheistic impersonalists. So this is what Prabhupada thinks, obviously. The Mayavadis, sannyasis, and their disciples will not like this statement. Know what to do. Ete bali sahi vipre atmasat kari, rate uthi mathura chalila gorahari. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted that Brahman as his devotee. The next morning, rising very early, the Lord started for Mathura. Sei tin sange chale Prabhu nishedhila, dur haite tin jane khare pathaila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started for Mathura, all three devotees started to go with him. So three men, Chandrasekhar, Tapan Mishra, and their Maharashtrian Brahman. But the Lord forbade them to accompany him, and from a distance he asked them to return. Prabhu virahe tine ekatra miliya, Prabhu guna gana kare preme mat hamiya. Feeling separation from the Lord, the three used to meet and glorify the holy qualities of the Lord. Thus they were absorbed in ecstatic love. प्रयागे आसिया प्रभु कैला वेणी स्नान माधव देखिया प्रेमे कैला नृत्य गान. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to Prayag, where he bathed at the confluence of the Ganga and Yamuna, said Sangam. He then visited the temple of Veni Madhav and chanted and danced there in ecstatic love. The city of Prayag is situated a few miles from the city of Allahabad. Well, now Allahabad is Prayagraj. The name Prayag is given due to successful sacrifices performed there. It is said, Prakrishto Yago Yaga Phalam Yasmat. If one performs sacrifices at Prayag, he certainly gets immediate results without difficulty. Prayag is also called Tirtharaj, the king of all places of pilgrimage. This holy place is situated on the confluence of the rivers Ganga and Yamuna. Every year a fair takes place there known as Magh Mela, and every 12 years a Kumbh Mela is also held. In any case, many people come to bathe there every year. During Magh Mela, people from the local district generally come, and during Kumbh Mela, people come from all over India to live there and bathe in Ganga and Yamuna. Whoever goes there immediately feels the place's spiritual influence. A fort located there was constructed by the Emperor Akbar about 500 years ago, and near the fort is a place called Triveni. On the other side of Prayag is an old place known as Pratishtanpura. It's also well known as Jhunsi. Many saintly people live there, and consequently, it is very attractive from the spiritual point of view. So yes, it's known as Jhunsi, and nobody knows as Pratishtanpura anymore. And as Prabhupada said, Prayag is Tirtharaj, king of all places of pilgrimage. So once Narad Muni, he went to Prayagraj, the person Prayagraj, and he glorified Prayagraj. He said, "You're the Tirtha, you're the king of all Tirthas. So you should call all the holy places and have a meeting and how we can serve better. And they should glorify you." So Prayagraj, listening to Narad Muni, he said, yeah, he got a little puffed up. So he called all the holy places from all over the universe to come, let's meet, let's discuss. So obviously everybody came, but Prayagraj was very upset to see that Braj Mandal didn't come. So he was like, what is this? He was getting a little upset. So he went to Krishna. He said, you made me the king of all the Tirthas, and I called this meeting, but Braj did not come. What is this impudence, and why he didn't come? He should listen to me. So Krishna got up and told Prayagraj, I made you king of places of pilgrimage, not the king of my house. Braj is my house. You're not king of that. So then Prayag understood the glories of Braj Mandal. And then he saw Narad Muni was smiling. Narad Muni actually does these kind of pastimes to put people in their place, actually. So to let Prayagraj know the glories of Braj Mandal, he had to perform this Leela. But Prayagraj definitely is a very, very spiritual place. And hopefully, if Prayagraj allows, then we can attend Kumbh Mela next year. Yamuna dekhiya preme pade jhampa diya aste vyaste bhattacharya uthaye dhariya. As soon as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the river Yamuna, He threw himself into it. Balbhadra Bhattacharya hastily caught the Lord and very carefully raised him up again. E mata teen din prayage rahila, Krishna naam preme diya lokanistarila. The Lord stayed at Prayag for 3 days. He delivered the holy name of Krishna and ecstatic love. Thus he delivered many people there. Mathura chalite pathe yatha rahi jaye, Krishnam prema diya lokere na chaye. Wherever the Lord stopped to rest on the way to Mathura, he delivered the holy name of Krishna and ecstatic love for Krishna. Thus he made the people dance. Purve jena dakshina jaite loka nistarila, Pashchim deshe taiche sabo Vaishnava kari. When the Lord toured South India, he delivered many people. And when he traveled in the western sector, he similarly converted many people to Vaishnavism. Formerly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted people when he toured southern and western India. Similarly, the Hare Krishna movement is now delivering the people of the Western world, wherever devotees are chanting the holy names. This is all being done by the Lord's mercy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that he would deliver people in every city and village of the world by giving them a chance to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Pathe yaha yaha hai yamuna darshanam, taha japa diya pade preme achetan. While the Lord was going to Mathura, he came across the river Yamuna several times. And as soon as he saw the river Yamuna, he would immediately jump in, falling unconscious in the water in the ecstasy of love of Krishna. Mathura nikate aila, Mathura dekhiya, dandavata haya pade prema vishtaha. When he approached Mathura and saw the city, he immediately fell to the ground and offered obeisances with great ecstatic love. Mathura asiya kaila vishranti tirthe snana, janma sthane keshav dekhi karila pranam. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the city of Mathura, he took his bath at Vishram Ghat. He then visited the birthplace of Krishna and saw the deity named Keshavji. He offered his respectful obeisances to this deity. So Keshavji is not that close to Vishram Ghat, little bit far, little bit away. But now it's a place with big time security cover of police because of the dispute. Hopefully, just like Ayodhya, we have Ram temple now. So in Mathura also, we should have a big, very big Krishna temple as his birthplace. At the present moment, the temple of Keshavji is very much improved. At one time, Keshavji Mandir was attacked by the Emperor Aurangzeb, who constructed such a big mosque there that the temple of Keshavji was insignificant in comparison. But with the help of many rich Marwadis, the temple has been improved, and a very large temple is now being constructed so that the mosque is now appearing diminished in comparison. Many archaeological discoveries have been made there, and many people from foreign countries are beginning to appreciate Krishna's birthplace. This Krishna consciousness movement is attracting many foreigners to the Keshavji temple. And now they will also be attracted by the Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan. So yes, that Keshavji temple, it is like a little prison house, and inside also the small deities of Keshavji. It's a very, very, very beautiful deity, Keshavji. But I haven't been there for many, many years, so I don't know what the current situation is. But hopefully we'll have a very big temple there. Premanande nache gaye saghan hunkara, Prabhur prema vesha dekhi, loke chamatkara. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted, danced, and made loud vibrations, all the people were astonished to see his ecstatic love. एक विप्र पड़े प्रभु चरण धरिया, प्रभु संगे नित्य करे प्रेमाविष्ट हाय. One Brahmin fell at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then began to dance with him in ecstatic love. दुहे प्रेम नित्य करे करे कोला कोली, Hari Krishna kaha duhe vale bahu tuli. The two of them danced in ecstatic love and embraced each other. Raising their arms, they said, chant the holy names of Hari and Krishna. Loka Hari Hari vale kola hal haila, Keshav Sevak Prabhu ke mala par aila. All the people then began to chant Hari Hari. And there was a great uproar. The priest in Lord Keshav's service offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a garland. Loke kahe Prabhu dekhi haya vismaya, aiche hena prema loke kabunaya. When the people saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing and chanting, they were struck with wonder, and they all said, such transcendental love is never an ordinary thing. Yahara darshane loke preme mat haya, hase kande nache gaye Krishna malaya. The people said, simply by seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone is maddened with love of Krishna. Indeed, everyone is laughing, crying, dancing, chanting, and taking the holy name of Krishna. So this is what he came to give to everybody. Sarvatha nishyate ho Krishna avatara, mathura aila lokera karite nistara. Certainly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in all respects the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Now he has come to Mathura to deliver everyone. Tabe Mahaprabhu say, Brahmanela yan, tahare puchila kichu nibrite vasiya. After this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the Brahman aside. Sitting in a solitary place, the Lord began to question him. Arya saral tumi vriddha Brahman, kaha haite paile tumi ei premadhan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are an elderly Brahman, you are sincere now, you are advanced in spiritual life. Where from have you gotten this transcendental opulence of ecstatic love for Krishna? Vipra kahe Shripad, Shri Madhvendra Puri, Brahmite Brahmite Aila Mathura Nagari. The Brahman replied, His Holiness Srila Madhvendra Puri came to the city of Mathura while he was on tour. Kripa kari teho mora nila e aila, more shishya kari mora ate bhiksha kai. While at Mathura, Sripad Madhvendra Puri visited my house and accepted me as a disciple. He even took lunch at my home. Gopal prakat kari seva kaila mahashaya, adhyapiha tahar seva govardhaneha. After installing the deity of Gopal, Srila Madhvendra Puri rendered him service. That very deity is still being worshipped at Govardhan Hill. So that Gopal is Srinathji. Srinathji, then who later on moved to Rajasthan, Nathdwar. Shuni Prabhu Kaila Tar Charana Vandana, Bhaye Paya Prabhu Paye Padila Brahman. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard about Madhvendra Puri's relationship with the Brahman, he immediately offered obeisances at his feet. Becoming fearful, the Brahman also immediately fell at the Lord's feet. Prabhu kahe tumi guru ami shishya praye, guru haya shishya namaskarana juyaye. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are on the platform of my spiritual master, and I am your disciple. Since you are my spiritual master, it is not befitting that you offer me obeisances. Shuniya Vismita Vipra kahe bhai paya, aiche baat kaha kene sannyasi haya. Upon hearing this, the Brahman became afraid. He then said, why do you speak like this? You are a sannyasi. Kintu tumhare prema dekhi mane anumani Madhvendra Purir sambandha dharajani. Upon seeing your ecstatic love, I can just imagine that you must have some relationship with Madhvendra Puri. This is my understanding. Krishna prema taha yaha taha rasambandha taha vina ei prema rakama nahi gan. This kind of ecstatic love can be experienced only when one has a relationship with Madhvendra Puri. Without him, even a scent of such transcendental ecstatic love is impossible. तबे भट्टाचार्य तारे संबंध कहीला सुनी आनंद तबे पर नाचिते लगीला. Balbhadra Bhattacharya then explained the relationship between Madhvendra Puri and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After hearing this, the Brahman became very pleased and began to dance. Tabe Vipra Prabhure Laya Aila Nij Ghare Apane Chai Prabhur Nana Sevakare. The Brahman then took Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home and out of his own free will began to serve the Lord in various ways. Bhikshalagi Bhattacharya Karaila Randhana Tabe Mahaprabhu Hasi Lila Vachan. He asked Balbhadra Bhattacharya to cook Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lunch. At that time, the Lord smiling spoke as follows. Puri Gosai Tomar Ghare Karya Chena Bhiksha More Tumi Bhiksha Deha E More Shiksha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Madhvendra Puri has already taken lunch at your place. Therefore, you may cook and give me the food. That is my instruction. Because Brahman was thinking, how can I serve a sannyasi? So let Bhattacharya, Balbhadra Bhattacharya cook for. But Mahaprabhu said, no, Madhvendra Puri has accepted. Prashant here, so you can cook for me. Yadyadacharti Shreshtas Tattate Vetaro Jana Sayat Pramanam Kurute Lokas Tadanvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Yadyapi Shanodiya Heya Saita Brahman Shanodiya Ghare Sannyasi Nakare Bhojan. The Brahman belonged to the Sanodiya Brahman community, and a sannyasi does not accept food from such a Brahman. So this is another, this is not Vaishnav understanding because Madhvendra Puri himself accepted food at this Brahman, but this is what smart Brahmins, they follow. In northwestern India, Vaishyas are divided into various subdivisions. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur points out that they are divided as Agarwal, Kalavar, and Sanvar. Out of them, the Agarwals are said to be first-class Vaishyas, and Kalavaras and Sanvaras are considered lower due to their occupational degradation. The Kalvaras generally take wine and other intoxicants. Well, nowadays everybody does. Although they are Vaishyas, they are considered to belong to a lower class. The priests who guide the Kalavars and Sanvaras are called Sanodiya Brahmins. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur states that the word Sanoyada in Bengal indicates Suvarna Vanik. In Bengal, there are priests who guide the Suvarna Vanik community, which is also considered a lower class. There is little difference between the Sanvalas and Suvarna Vaniks. Generally, the Suvarna Vaniks are bankers dealing in gold and silver. In Western India, the Agarwals also belong to the banking profession. This is the original business of the Suvarna Vanik or Agarwal community. Historically, the Agarwals came from the upcountry named Ayodhya, and the Suvarna Vanik community also came from Ayodhya. Does it mean Ayodhya? I don't know. It's written Ayodhya. It is therefore appears that the Suvarna Vaniks and the Agarwals belong to the same community. The Sanodiya Brahmins were the guides of the Kalavaras and Sanvaras. They were therefore considered to be lower class Brahmins, and a sannyasi is not allowed to take alms or food from them. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted lunch cooked by a Sanodiya Brahmin simply because he belonged to Madhvendra Puri's community. Srila Madhvendra Puri was the spiritual master of Ishwar Puri, who was the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus, a spiritual relationship is established on the spiritual platform without consideration of material inferiority or superiority. So this all differences were there, but I guess hardly anybody cares for all this these days. तथापि पूरी देखी तार वैष्णव आचार शिष्य करे तार भिक्षा कैलांगिकार. Although the Brahman belonged to Shanodiya community, Srila Madhavendra Puri had seen that he behaved like a Vaishnava and had therefore accepted him as his disciple. The food he had cooked had also been accepted by Madhavendra Puri. Mahaprabhu tare yadi bhiksha magila, danya kari sahi vipra kahite lagila. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu willingly requested food from the Brahman, and the Brahman, feeling natural humility, began to speak as follows. तुम्हारे भिक्षा दिबा बड़ भाग्य से हमारा, तुम्ही ईश्वर नाही तुम्हार विधि व्यवहार. It is a great fortune for me to offer you food. You're the Supreme Lord, and being in the transcendental position, you're not restricted in any way. मूर्ख लोक करिबेक तुम्हार निंदा, सहित न पारी मुसई दुष्टेरे वचन. Foolish people will blaspheme you, but I shall not tolerate the words of such mischievous people. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that although the Brahman did not belong to a superior community, he fearlessly chastised so-called caste Brahmins because he was situated on the platform of pure devotion service. There are people who are opposed to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's accepting a Vaishnava belonging to a lower caste. Such people do not consider Mahaprasadam transcendental, and therefore they are described as murkha, foolish, and dushta, mischievous. A pure devotee has the power to challenge such high caste people, and his brave statements are not to be considered proud or puffed up. On the contrary, he is to be considered straightforward. Such a person does not like to flatter high-class Brahmins who belong to the non-Vaishnava community. So this fight or this argument has always been there between Brahmins and Vaishnavas. And actually, during Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, in Calcutta, there was arranged a big debate between trying to understand who's better, Brahmins or Vaishnavas. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not feeling well, so he asked Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, that time he was Bimla Prasad, to go and present a Vaishnava understanding. So he went. He was a young man, but a very big scholar, son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he went and he got on the stage, and in front of him there were people sitting, there were police there to make sure no fighting starts. So Bimla Prasad, he started glorifying Brahmins first, according to the scriptures. What scriptures talk about Brahmins, how glorified they are. And all the Brahmins in the assembly, they were thinking, oh, see, this is good, this is very good. Son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is glorifying us, so see how great we are as Brahmins. And then Bimla Prasad started speaking, glorifying Vaishnavas, according to scriptures. And then how Vaishnavas are even greater than Brahma. Greater in the sense that they're more dear to Krishna. And then all the devotees in the assembly, they were dancing. See how he has presented the case. And then they ran to bathe Bimla Prasad's lotus feet with water and take the Charnamrit. The police had to come. Police just gathered around Bimla Prasad, and the inspector, he put a bucket of water. He asked Bimla Prasad, put your feet in this bucket of water, and I'll just distribute this Charnamrit to everybody. Otherwise, there'll be chaos here. They'll run over everybody. There's so many Vaishnavas. They want to take Charnamrit. And this is how Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he did that, and then police had to take him away. There'll be riots here. And in fact, when he took sannyas, when as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to be such a heavy preacher that the Brahmins, even the so-called gurus in area, Navadvip, Bengal, everywhere, they were so afraid of him that he would just speak the truth. He was considered the lion, Simha Guru. So once a police constable came, he was Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj was supposed to attend either a meeting or he was supposed to give lecture somewhere. And police constable came to see him. He said, "You better run away from here because we've been given the bribe that these local Brahmins are going to kill you or get you killed. So we have taken the bribe, but it didn't. I didn't feel it right. So I'm coming. I came here to warn you. Please leave this place immediately." So yes, so many problems have been always going on, always going on. Anyway, we'll stop here and tomorrow we'll study further, see anybody have any questions or comments. Okay, you all have a safe and good day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.